Recently we had a catastrophe in FTX, a very famous crypto story. I was an investor in that, but it was a part of my portfolio, not all of it. So I'm able to take that hit and move on.
Yeah.
My whole point is learn the concept of diversification. Diversification is everything in investing. That's my lesson. Well, I know Sam. I actually spoke to Sam the Thursday before the catastrophe on the weekend. And I was, I have to completely be transparent here, I was an investor and a paid spokesperson for the company, along with Tom Brady and lots of other people. We're obviously in a difficult situation now. But it is what it is, and I prefer just to tell the truth all the time, as we talked about earlier. And so my attitude about this is, give me the facts. I've heard all the rumors and innuendos and allegations and blah, 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 woof, woof, woof. I still don't have any facts.
O'Shares ETS chairman and renowned Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary has recently spoken about doing business with the beleaguered crypto exchange FTX and its former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried. During a recent interview, O'Leary said that he was surprised by the collapse of FTX, but said the truth about the company will be uncovered during the legal battle. According to O'Leary, blockchain data will shed light on the crypto exchange as every transaction is recorded. However, a recent tweet by Kevin O'Leary seems to indicate he is in full support of SBF, even though he claimed to have lost millions of dollars with the now bankrupt firm. Traders lost billions of dollars that they stored on the platform, which served as a marketplace for crypto enthusiasts to buy and sell tokens. Companies with ties to FTX have also found themselves on shaky financial footing. On Monday, the crypto lending firm BlockFi filed for bankruptcy, blaming its links to FTX. In a tweet on November 30th, Kevin O'Leary wrote, "I lost millions as an investor in FTX and got sandblasted as a paid spokesperson for the firm, but after listening to that interview, I'm in the Bill Ackman camp about the kid." This was in response to Bill Ackman's tweet that called me crazy, but I think SBF is telling the truth. Kevin O'Leary tweet got a lot of negative response as many people expressed disappointment to his tweet. One user responded, "Crazy to see how deep the cancer of corruption goes, makes me view these guys completely different than the facade I believed when I was young." Another Twitter user had this response for him: "You're a simp for that kid, and even after everything blew up, you said you'd invest with that kid again." Personally, I am disappointed with O'Leary's defense of SBF, who has obviously stolen billions of dollars from people who trusted him enough to invest in his platform. O'Leary, in a new interview, also emphasized that he was not quitting on crypto and will continue to invest in the industry. Before we listen to Kevin O'Leary's latest interview, please take a moment to support us by smashing the like button and consider subscribing if you are yet to do so. Thanks for watching our videos. We appreciate you so much.
I'm waiting to see what really happened. I'm not happy about the situation I'm in, and yes, it did cost me millions of dollars, but it doesn't change anything I do. I'm still going to wake up in the morning. I'm still going to invest in crypto. I'm still going to invest in entrepreneurs. I'm going to keep doing exactly what I do, and let the chips fall where they may in the context of FTX.
What do you think of the crypto market right now?
I actually think over the next decade, the crypto market will become the 12th sector of the S&P. And I say that not from the speculative of investing in tokens and buying and selling them and flipping them and trading them. Nothing to do with that. I'm really intrigued about the concept of payment systems globally. And so you think about a very basic idea. Let's say, and let's take it in the context of the currency that is used to trade commodities, the American dollar. We price a barrel of oil in the American dollar all around the world. So let's say we were to launch a stable coin backed by the American dollar, 1-to-1. And it was regulated the same way that a money market account is, which is very simple. It means that there's one stable coin, there's $1. They back each other up. Or a treasury bill with a duration of less than 12 months. And it's audited every 30 days. So there's a proof of asset. Now, let's say I'm sitting in New York City and I want to buy a home in Abu Dhabi. Let's just for rounding, let's say it's $1 million pied-à-terre condominium. Right now, in order for me to do that, I have to wire $1 million to a fiduciary here or a bank here and convert it into local currency, which is going to cost me a lot. It's also going to take up to 3 days to transfer it. And very often, and this happens to me all the time, the banking system loses the money for 36 hours.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's true. Now, that's incredibly inefficient.
Yeah.
And and expensive and actually stupid when I could use if the seller was willing to take, let's say, a U.S. stable coin, and he gave me or she gave me their wallet, I would transfer that in less than 1 second at a fraction of the cost. The transaction would be done. It would be fully auditable, fully transparent, very productive. Both governments that approve this currency or this stable coin, let's say the ADGM gave a license for it here in the UAE, and the Treasury Department, and the same in the U.S., or the regulator over there, the world could do transactions. So that's going to happen. It's just a matter of time for the regulator to actually decide this. The regulator here, the regulator there. But that's how the world's going to operate. And so it's not just the speculation of what the price of Bitcoin is. It's all the productivity that the blockchain can provide, whether it be an NFT or a token or a stable coin or an asset like Bitcoin. These are not going away. It doesn't matter how many FTXs go to zero. It's not cryptocurrency's fault. It's bad management and no regulator that had made that happen. And that we'll have to fix that up. The great thing about all these collapses of these crypto companies is it's scraping away the idiot management. All of these really bad managers are being put aside. They won't be able to raise capital again. And it culls the herd from the idiots, and only the strong companies survive. That's good for crypto.
Kevin O'Leary, during the interview in response to a question from the host, also shared his thoughts on how to create wealth and enjoy a prosperous retirement. He shared some family stories and how his mother had saved 20% of her salary over many years, which has resulted into millions of dollars after a long time. If the last couple years have taught us one thing about managing money, it's that having some savings set aside is crucial. Despite the significance of having savings, however, research shows that 45% of Americans have less than $1,000 saved, and in an emergency situation, $1,000 may very well not be sufficient. To ensure you have an adequate amount to cover a worst-case scenario, stashing away a portion of every paycheck is key. While we establish that it's important to save, the next question is just how much should we be putting away? Kevin O'Leary believes everyone should save at least 10% of their income to have a guarantee of a successful future.
The thing is, if you're in your 20s, and particularly at 21 years old, and you get the idea of doing, that whole map of how much you bring in versus what you take out, if you can just figure out a way, and this is what Georgette, my mother, did. Now, this is not what everybody can do, but she took 20% of her paycheck. Back in the early days, she worked on a sewing machine. She was a seamstress in a clothing company for children's clothing. She'd take 20% of her paycheck and put it into a portfolio of stocks that paid dividends and telco bonds. Now, I know this because she kept this account secret from both of her husbands. She was married twice. Yes. It was in her name. She believed in financial independence.
She sounds fabulous.
So over 55 years, from when she was 20 years old, this portfolio kept growing and growing and growing. Telco bonds in those days would yield 6-7%. She'd buy 7-year telco bonds, and she figured nobody would ever turn off their phone because they love talking. It was a great idea. So when she died, the executor called me, I'm the older brother, and said, look, you got to come down here. Your mother died a really wealthy woman. I said, what? We're a middle-class family. Then I started thinking as I was on my way down to the lawyer's office, she put me through college and my brother. I mean, the whole thing. And took care of her brothers and sisters. Where was that money coming from? Bought me the down payment on my first home, my first car. Well, she had saved 20% of her salary and put it into this account. And over 55 years, it kept her completely financially independent. When she separated from my father, my first father, she didn't take any money from him. She had more than he did. So that was 20% of her salary. Now, I'm telling people, do 10%. 10%. Minimum 10% of every paycheck, every side hustle, every gift your grandma gives you, 10%. Put that in and invest in yourself. And when you turn 65, you'll be amazed at how much money you have because it's 8% compounded over time. This is the key to success, is finding the discipline to take 10%. I've done that ever since she taught me, and I saw the outcome of it. I really try not to spend more than I take in, and my only weakness is watches.
What watch are you wearing at the moment?
Oh, right now when I come to UAE, I have to wear FP Journe.
Yes.
Because Journe in this country is I was introduced to Journe through one of the collectors here in UAE. And out of honor of that relationship I have with FP Journe now, I always wear Journe here. And this is a gorgeous elegant I'm wearing on my wrist. This was the entry-level Journe a few years ago. Now it sells for over $100,000. I mean, the appreciation on these watches, that's what I keep telling my wife. Don't yell at me when I bring another one home. I'm making 400% on these watches. And she says, then sell some, which I can't do. And, you know, my son keeps looking at the collection, licking his chops. And I say to him, Trevor, don't look at this stuff because all of it's coming in my coffin and being buried with me. Because where I'm going, I'm going to need a good watch.
What do you make of Kevin O'Leary interviewed? Do you believe he actually lost millions of dollars on FTX as he claimed? If he did, I don't understand why he is still furiously trying to defend SBF when every indication shows that he fraudulently and illegally borrowed and spent users' funds to donate to politicians and spending a $300 million outlay on real estate in the Bahamas. FTX disintegrated practically overnight after it was unable to meet a run on deposits that left the company with an $8 billion hole in its accounts. Within a week, the crypto exchange filed for bankruptcy. In a live interview at the New York Times Dealbook Conference in Manhattan, Mr. Bankman-Fried blamed huge management failures and sloppy accounting for the collapse of his $32 billion company, which has sparked civil and criminal investigations. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.